Before we built cities, before we wrote laws, before we even spoke our first words, we were animals among animals. We lived by tooth and claw, by hunger and instinct. But somewhere, hidden in the vastness of deep time, something began to stir inside us. Something no creature had ever dared before. A hunger not just for survival, but for meaning. In the beginning, there was only survival, gestures, grunts, cries of pain or alarm. Our ancestors spoke with their bodies, the language of movement, of posture, of scent, of fear. It was enough for a time, but the world was changing. Predators hunted smarter, rivals grew fiercer, survival demanded more. And so, the mind began to change. A new tool was forming, not of bone or stone, but of sound. The first sounds were not words. They were pure emotion, the roar of fear, the whimper of submission, the cry of loss. Gradually, grunts became patterns. Patterns became signals. Signals became meaning. A sharp bark could mean danger. A low growl could mean no. A soothing hum could mean safe. We began to shape the air itself, to sculpt it into messages that crossed the empty spaces between our bodies. And with each shared sound, the distance between one mind and another grew smaller. But sounds alone were not enough. We needed something deeper, something that could bind us together. And so, before language came song, we sang our fear, we sang our longing, we sang the memory of rivers, of hunts, of fallen brothers. In the voice lifted to the stars, we shared what words could not yet say. Music was our first bridge to each other, and perhaps our first bridge to the divine. Slowly, the shapeless sounds began to crystallize. Sounds became names. Names became memories. Memories became instructions, traditions, legends. Now we could say, water there, food found, beware the lion's den. And for the first time, knowledge was no longer trapped inside a single mind. It could be shared. It could survive beyond death. Naming things was not enough. We needed to say who did what and when and how. Thus was born grammar, the invisible skeleton of language. With grammar, we could tell stories. The hunter killed the lion. The river dried up in summer. The spirit of the ancestors guards the hills. And once we could tell stories, we could imagine futures. We could remember pasts. We could build myths. From those first clumsy sounds sprang songs. From songs sprang stories. From stories sprang civilizations. We became the animal that remembers, the animal that dreams, the animal that speaks the future into existence. Today, when you whisper, when you sing, when you tell a story, you are reaching across 100,000 years of struggle and wonder. You are the heir to the first cries by the fire, the first humming in the dark, the first spark of meaning in a meaningless world. You are human. You are the voice that rose from silence and refused to be silent ever again.